architecture of 8051. This is very important question for external exam. So this is whole architecture, and this part, up to this part, is dealing the internal registers or internal important registers of the 8051 we are dealing here, and this part is internal memory, and this part is output pins or input pins. You can call it as a input output port pins. Okay, so totally we can divide this into a three categories. This is internal register part, and this is memory part, and this is a ports part, and this is a timing and control signals part. Okay, when coming to here, this is a main arithmetic and logical unit of your 8051. So our 8051 is a 8-bit processor. That means it can operate at a time 8 bits, right? So that is here I have indicated 8. So arithmetic logical unit carries 8-bit data at a time. So it can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So all are in the 8 bits. So this is accumulator, and this is a B register. These are all the two registers. We have internal registers in the this 8051, but we are not talking about that internal register. That we will see in the memory organization. Here we have the important registers are A and B register. A register is called accumulator. So if you have any instruction like this, move A comma or not, or otherwise add A comma R1, something like that. So for each and every operation we are having a here. That means the result out of two operands in the instruction, one operand will be in the A and another operand will be in the registers. The result will store in the A. So that is why it is called accumulator. So it is a 8-bit register. Okay. Another register is B register. B register is exclusively we are using for division and multiplication. Okay. So mul A B. Here we don't have comma also. Division A B. Okay. Exclusively when we are using multiplication and division instructions, we are using the B register along with the A register. Okay. Next part is PSW. PSW is nothing but program status word. This is also one register. This register contains 8-bit register. So this register is telling the about the result. Okay. So if you want to know what is the result, you need to see in the accumulator. You want to know the result, you have to see in the accumulator. If you want to know about the result, then you need to check the PSW. What is about the result means whether the result is 0 or not, if the result is positive or not, if the result gets carry or not, if the result generates auxiliary carry or not. So these kind of status of the result, if you want to know, you have to see in the PSW. We will see separate PSW lecture in later point of time. And another important registers are PC. Okay, this is a program counter. So out of 8051 registers, we have 16-bit registers are only two registers are there. One is PC, another one is DPTR. Okay, PC contains address of the next instruction to be executed. So our instructions are stored in the memory, right? So each and every instruction my ALU wants to process. So when one instruction fetches to the ALU, the PC contains the address of the next instruction to be executed, such that microcontroller after executing the present instruction, it don't want to waste time. Immediately the address will be available here, so that immediately it will go and pick the next instruction to be executed. It is a 16-bit address, and the PC automatically increments. Okay, the PC gets automatically increment after executing the one instruction. Okay, so it is a 16-bit address. It is showing the address of the next instruction to be executed. Okay, next one is data pointer, DPTR. It is showing the address of the data which is needed by the particular instruction. So instruction is executing means that instruction needs some data, right? Suppose for example we have move a comma something called hash 2050, something like that. For this instruction, we need some data at this location, 2050 location. How we will get that one? So DPTR showing the address of the data. DPTR not contains the data. Okay, DPTR register not contains the data. It contains the address of the data. So that address will go, and from that address we will pick the data and we will supply it to the into the instruction. Okay, so DPTR is again 16-bit address, and DPTR we can increment in two ways. Okay, the whole 16-bit register can be incremented, or otherwise higher level DPTR register and lower level DPTR register also can increment. This is your total DPTR 16-bit address. So this is a higher level DPTR, this is lower level DPTR. So if you want, you can increment only lower level, otherwise you can increment whole 16 level. Why we need this one? Because suppose 2050 is the one location. Suppose you want to increment 2051. So instead of doing the operation complete on 2051, simply we are incrementing this lower bit. Okay, our 8051 is a 8-bit microcontroller. That means if you want to increment 16-bit address, so it will need 2 clock cycles. So anyhow, these 20 is not changing. When it will be changed, this will be 52, 53, 54 like that. 2 power 8, 256 locations later, this 20 will becomes 21. Okay, until that point of time, 256 locations, this 20 will be continued. So instead of having 16-bit increment, just we are having only lower bit increment. Okay, so this DPTR increment and decrement operations is controlled by user. Okay, this PC increment is controlled by the microcontroller. This DPTR increment and decrement is controlled by the user. Okay, so for the last time, DPTR contains address of the data, PC contains address of the instruction. Okay, so this is about your memory part. Okay, this is internal RAM of the microcontroller, this is internal ROM of the microcontroller. RAM contains data, ROM contains instructions, that means programs. So internal RAM size is 128 bytes. Okay, that means 128 locations. Each location contains 8 bits, that means 1 byte. So that is why it is called a 128 bytes or 128 locations. Each location contains 8 bits. Similarly, ROM contains 4 KB of memory, that means 4K locations. Okay, and each location contains 8 bits. Okay, so here it is a 128 bytes. 128 byte means to address the 128 bytes, how many address lines you need? 2 power 7. 2 power 7 is nothing but 128. But our address should be the power of 2. That is why here we are using 2 power 8. That means 8 address lines we are using to call the particular memory locations in the RAM. So that is why it is a 8-bit address. Okay, this 8-bit address line is connected to the internal RAM. This 8-bit address is not connected to the internal RAM. Why? Because 4 KB means how many locations? 2 power 2 into K means 2 power 10. This is nothing but 2 power 12. So to address the 4K locations, you need 12 address lines. But as I told you, our address should be the power of 2. So the nearby power of 2 is nothing but 2 power 16. So 16-bit address lines we are using to call the internal RAM. That is why this 16-bit address bus is connected to the internal RAM. Okay, the same address bus is connected to DPTR and PC. So this will be generate the address, and the particular address location will be identified here, and from here the particular data will go to the ALU. Okay, so internal ROM contains 8-bit address. That 8-bit address is connected to the RAM, and 16-bit address bus is connected to the internal ROM. Okay, so this is about your internal RAM and internal, and this one is output ports. Okay, as I told you in the pin diagram, so this port 0 and port 2 contains multifunction pins. So normally these port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3 are input output pins. Along with that, your port 0, port 2, port 3 contains alternate functions also. Suppose external memory like external RAM and external ROM if you have. So to address the external RAM and external ROM and to get the data or to access the data to the external RAM and ROM, we need some address lines, right? So for 8051, external RAM and ROM we can connect 64 KB each. 64 KB means 16-bit address. Using the 16-bit address we can address 64 KB. 2 power 16 is 64 KB. So this address bus is connected to port 0. This is a lower order address bus, and the same 16-bit address is connected to the port 2. Okay, you see here this 16-bit address is connected to the port 2, and this 16-bit address is connected to the port 0 also. Okay, so from that 16-bit address, from the external RAM and ROM, the locations will be identified. After identifying the location, if you want to read the data will comes to this through port 0 and port 2 and goes through the 8-bit address line, 8-bit data line. Okay, or suppose you want to write some data, the 8-bit data line will send the data to particular locations through port 0 and port 2. Okay, so what about this latch? Latch is nothing but just it will hold the data for particular amount of time. Suppose here you have connected some LCD screen. On the LCD screen, the data should display for some point of time. So to display some point of time, this latches will be enable the data and it will hold the data for particular amount of time. If you are not connecting the latches here, the data will go to the LCD screen and immediately it will disappear. Okay, we cannot notice what is the data outside we got. So the latches are just it is holding the data for some particular amount of time. Okay, these ports and latches together will be there. Okay, so without latches, these ports are not called ports. Just then it will be a data line. Okay, with the latches only, this will become a ports. Okay, next one is timing and control. Okay, so at what time we need to generate the 16-bit address and at what time we need to generate the 8-bit address and how to read, how to write. Okay, so all these are generated from the timing control signals. So timing control signals actually it is connected to everywhere. Here diagrammatically I am not showing the timing and control signals connected to each and every block, but actually it is connected to everywhere, like in our human body nervous system. Okay, so this is a crystal oscillator signals and this is a reset signal. This is address latch enable. As I told you, suppose address latch enable equal to 0. So on this AD0, AD7, on this A15 to A8 bus, the address is going. Okay, if address latch enable is 1, that means now it is not address, it is a data, because this is a multiplexed bus, right? AD0 to AD7 is a multiplexed bus. So when this will be 0, then the address is going on these lines. When this will be 1, the data is going. And PSEN bar, program status enable. So this is, I told you as in the pin diagram, when you want to read data from the external ROM, this will becomes 0. Or if program status enable is 1 means, then the data is coming from the external ROM. If the program status enable is 0, the data is coming from the external ROM. And this is a external enable. Suppose you want to connect a external RAM or ROM. At that time you want to make it EA bar is 0. Okay, then this is VCC and ground. So this is about internal architecture of 8051.